Have you ever stopped to think if everything you feel and think truly comes from you? In a world where we are surrounded by stimuli, pressure, and external opinions, it's easy to lose sight of what truly belongs to us. Without realizing it, we may be reacting to emotions that are not ours, repeating ideas someone else planted in our minds, or making decisions under an invisible influence. And we're not talking about magic or strange theories. We're talking about something real. Everything around us affects us, for better or worse. From the conversations we hear, to the environments we live in, or the people we spend the most time with. The problem is that many people go through life without noticing these interferences or energies. They feel tired, anxious, or frustrated, and they don't know why. But when you learn to recognize how those small external charges influence you, you can start to take control. And that's what you're going to discover today. Since the beginnings of civilization, those who understood and managed energy were not seen as eccentric, but as key figures of power. Priests, sages, leaders. In the most ancient cultures, where the invisible held as much weight as the tangible, understanding how energy worked was synonymous with having control. In ancient Egypt, for example, temples were not just places of prayer. They were designed with mathematical precision to concentrate and amplify certain vibrations. The priests knew that the human voice, used with intention and at the right frequency, not only transmitted ideas, but could influence the environment and the body. The word wasn't just a means of speaking, it was a tool for transformation. Something similar happened in Vedic India. There, ancient texts like the Vedas and the Upanishads were not philosophical books detached from daily life. They contained detailed maps of the human body from an energetic perspective, describing circuits like the chakras, the energy channels, nadis, and the life force, prana. This knowledge was used to improve health, calm the mind, and make decisions more aligned with oneself. It wasn't theory, it was applied practice. In China, ancient Taoists developed methods like Qigong breathing and internal energy circulation to regulate emotions, strengthen organs, and prolong life. For them, a poorly managed emotion wasn't just a mood, it could cause physical harm. But they also knew that when properly directed, that same energy could heal, empower the body, and maintain balance. So why does almost no one talk about this seriously today? Because over time, this knowledge became exclusive, reserved for the few. It was encrypted in symbols, hidden beneath complex languages, and eventually ridiculed. We were led to believe that all of this was superstition, that it had no real value. But the truth is that these ancient cultures were observing something that modern science is only just beginning to rediscover. That our thoughts, emotions, words, and actions generate a measurable impact both on our body and in our environment. And that understanding how this energy works can be the difference between living adrift or taking control of our lives. As the world moved toward a purely material view of reality, the knowledge about vibrational influence was pushed aside. Health was reduced to chemical processes, emotions were pathologized, spirituality became dogma, and energy was confined to academic debates or esoteric circles. The invisible stopped mattering, at least for the average person. But major institutions didn't forget it. They still use it, just under a different face. Today, energetic manipulation shows up in more subtle ways, through mental saturation, chaotic urban design, invisible signals that disrupt your attention, and language loaded with emotional tension. Energy never stopped being used. You just stopped controlling it, while others still do. Reclaiming this ability is not a trend or a curiosity. It is a way to take back the reins. Whoever understands how their energy works stops being a passive piece in the system. And when that happens, external influence loses its power. What comes next is not abstract theory. It's real practice. It's about understanding how you influence, consciously or unconsciously, everything around you. Because everything vibrates. This is not an ancient belief or an inspirational phrase. It's a fact supported by modern science. And that vibration is not fixed. It can be changed. It can be directed. It can be trained. Whoever learns to modulate their energy, and also to perceive the energy of others, gains the ability to tangibly transform their surroundings. Imagine your body not as a simple biological system, but as a system that emits constant signals. Your thoughts, emotions, words, and actions are frequencies that impact, connect, and generate responses. None of this is abstract. It's physical, measurable, and real. And it's happening all the time, whether you're aware of it or not. This is not self-help disguised as science. It is the foundation of your interaction with the world. And understanding it can be the difference between living in reaction or living with intention. When someone tells you, there's something about you that doesn't feel right, they're probably not just saying it randomly. They're picking up on something, even if they can't explain it. Just like a radio tunes into different stations based on its frequency, you also connect with experiences based on the energy you emit. And here comes the first essential principle. Energy follows your attention. Where you focus your mind, your power flows. Have you ever noticed that when you obsess over an idea, whether good or bad, more similar things start showing up in your life? It's not a coincidence. It's a real mechanism. Sustained attention on a thought creates an energetic charge that attracts experiences of the same kind. This principle is used both by people who know how to channel their energy constructively, and by those who seek to manipulate or influence. From advertising campaigns designed to make you desire things you didn't want before, to those who project envy, judgment, or a need for control. Every emotionally charged thought becomes an energy that creates impact. Second principle, your energy is not a vague cloud. It is a system with layers. You are not just what you see in the mirror. You are made up of different levels: physical, emotional, mental, etheric, and spiritual. Each one vibrates differently and responds to specific stimuli. A heated argument can affect your emotional body, but if you constantly experience that kind of tension, the discomfort begins to leave a mark and can eventually affect your physical health. And the reverse is also true. Practicing gratitude daily is not just a nice phrase. It helps cleanse your emotions, clear your mind, and strengthen your overall well-being. In the ancient initiatory schools, this was called energetic hygiene. Just as you shower to keep your body clean, you should also learn to release your energy field from burdens that aren't even yours. Third principle, energy can flow or be drained. Have you ever felt completely exhausted after talking to someone, as if they drained your energy? Or maybe a single look left you feeling uncomfortable the entire day. This happens because of invisible connections that are formed in certain relationships. These links are known as energetic cords, channels through which energy can be transferred, consciously or not. This doesn't mean you have to distrust everyone, but it does mean you need to learn to recognize when to protect your space, set boundaries, or simply recharge. Now that you know the basics of how energy works, it's time to go deeper. If the universe is a living web of vibrations, and you are part of that web, then you can also influence it. The question is, do you know how to do it in your favor? To understand how energy moves, we must go to the root of ancient knowledge. The ancient alchemists worked with three fundamental pillars: intention, frequency, and direction. Each one acts as a coordinate, and when they align, they reveal the true map of how energy flows, transforms, and can be consciously directed. Intention is the starting point. It's not enough to simply want something. Energy responds to what you truly believe, feel, and think at the same time. If you're trying to heal, but inside you carry fear or doubt, your message to the universe is unclear. And an intention without coherence is a weak command. That's why many techniques like affirmations or visualizations don't work if there is no internal alignment. Even those who manipulate energy for negative purposes know this. They first alter your emotions, because by doing so, they alter your energy field. Then comes frequency, the invisible language of the universe. Everything vibrates: a word, an emotion, a room. And that vibration can lift you up or weigh you down. Ancient cultures used sacred sounds to shift energy: chants, drums, bowls. Today, without realizing it, we let digital noise, negative news, and heavy environments contaminate our frequency. But you can counteract this by consciously choosing your spaces, your thoughts, and what you listen to. And finally, direction. Your energy can be like a weak flashlight or like a laser beam. It all depends on where you project it. If you know how to focus your energy with aligned intention and frequency, you can impact reality. Heal, protect yourself, move forward. But that projection also has a return, so protecting your field is essential. Closing your energy at the end of the day, cutting negative ties with breath work, salt baths, or visualizations like the violet mantle are effective ways to stay whole. Mastering these three pillars is like reconnecting with a forgotten wisdom. And when you do, everything changes. What used to drain you no longer affects you. Doors begin to open. Your energy stops leaking and starts building. Knowing that energy can influence and be influenced shouldn't create fear in you, but open your eyes. It's not about becoming paranoid or fearing the invisible, but about understanding that we constantly live immersed in an energy field, and that if we learn to use it with intention, we can transform our life from the inside out. This isn't about magic formulas or complex rituals. It's about simple habits, small, everyday gestures that, repeated with awareness, strengthen your energy, protect you, and give you back the control you may have unknowingly given away. Here are 5 practices you can start today. First, cleanse your energy at the end of the day. Just like you shower or change your clothes, you also need to release the invisible buildup you accumulate. Every conversation, every space you visit, leaves a trace on you. You can do an energy cleanse with a bath, by lighting incense, or simply by imagining a shower of light falling over you, washing away what you no longer need. Do it every night. Don't wait until you feel off to do it. It's emotional hygiene. Second, breathe consciously. 3 times a day, take a pause. Inhale deeply. Visualize light entering. Exhale and release worries, tension, other people's thoughts. Don't underestimate the power of conscious breathing. It's a simple way to return to your center, especially when you feel overwhelmed or out of balance. Third, watch what you say. Words are not neutral. They carry energy. Phrases like, "I can't," or "nothing ever works out for me," create a vibration that reinforces the very reality you're trying to change. Start speaking to yourself differently. Use words that open possibilities, not ones that limit you. The way you speak builds your energy field, for better or worse. Fourth, use your imagination as protection. Before you leave the house, take a few seconds to visualize a bubble of golden light surrounding you. Imagine that nothing negative can get in, and that everything that leaves you is clean and harmonious. It may seem like a game, but it's not. Your mind responds powerfully to what you visualize, and that sustained image acts as a real barrier. Lastly, choose your spaces wisely. There are places filled with tension, rush, anger, and others that radiate calm. Learn to notice the difference. If an environment makes you feel uncomfortable, don't ignore it. Reinforce your energy, and if you can, walk away. Being present in healthy spaces is also a form of self-care. Not everything is worth it if the cost is your peace. You don't need to do everything perfectly. What matters is remembering that you can always do something. Every time you choose to care for yourself, even in a small way, you're telling the universe, "My energy is mine, and I choose to protect it." And that, more than any secret formula, is what truly sets you free. For centuries, human beings have sensed that the most powerful things are not what we see, but what we feel. It's not the tangible that moves life, but the invisible, what vibrates and connects us in silence. For generations, that knowledge was ignored, forgotten, or hidden. But today, something is shifting. And if you're here, listening to this, it's no coincidence. You're awakening to a new way of seeing the world. A more conscious, freer, more authentic way. You are energy. You breathe energy. You emit it, absorb it, and transform it. It's not something outside of you. It's part of who you are. Manipulating energy is not a dark act, as many believe. It is a natural ability of the conscious being. What makes the difference is not the act itself, but the intention behind it. Every time you choose to observe your thoughts, breathe calmly, choose your words carefully, or cleanse your inner space, you are exercising real power. You are no longer living on autopilot. You are beginning to become the true creator of your reality. You are no longer just a body that survives. You are an active channel. You are a field in motion. And here comes something many find hard to accept. If you don't take care of your energy, someone else will do it for you. Because energy doesn't stay neutral. Where you don't decide, others influence. Where there is neglect, manipulation enters. Where there is confusion, outside programming takes over. But when you become aware, everything changes. You take back the wheel. You begin choosing from your center again. No one can dominate your field if you are present within it. Nothing is more powerful than a person who remembers who they are and chooses to vibrate from their truth. Now, I ask you a question. Are you going to keep letting everything affect you without realizing it? Or are you going to take the reins, protect your energy, and use this knowledge to grow? Now more than ever, the world needs conscious people. People who act with clarity, not from fear. Who stop reacting and start responding with intention. Who stop being controlled and start creating. If what you heard made sense to you, don't ignore it. Subscribe and give it a like to keep exploring topics that support your spiritual awakening. See you soon.